What's up? What's up? What's up? To steal from Martin Lawrence right quick. Sorry if I blew out your eardrums. This is LB the Realist with Surrealistic Studios Surreal News. Thank you for joining me today. So Bernie Sanders has officially announced he's running for president of the United States of America, y'all. Bernie is running 2020. Bernie 2020. Can you feel me? Can you feel what the burn is cooking? Woo! I can't wait. When I heard Bernie's announcement, when I saw the campaign, the first campaign video, I swear I almost shed a tear, y'all. I almost shed a tear because it is that deep. It is that deep. I remember in 2016, when Bernie was running and I first heard him speak, he just lit a fire in me. He just ignited a fucking flame that cannot be put out. So now that he's running again, now that we're finishing what we first started in 2016, I'm pumped. I'm amped. I know you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm fucking excited. And don't get me wrong, I love Tulsi Gabbard. I fucking adore Tulsi Gabbard for her non-interventionist stance. You know, she wants to end the wars and all of these conflicts. You know, she's for Medicare for all, legalization of marijuana or the ganja. You know, she's introduced numerous amounts of legislation to enhance our security around elections, to introduce paper ballots, to stop army. She introduced a bill to stop arming terrorists. That's literally what the name of the fucking bill was called. Stop Arming Terrorists Act. So don't get me started on Tulsi. She stepped down from the second highest position in the Democratic Party, the DNC vice chair. She stepped down to support Bernie Sanders in 2016. That's how progressive Tulsi Gabbard is. That's how much integrity Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, not to mention she's a fucking veteran. She was a medic in the National Reserve, and she actually saw action. She went to Iraq. She went to Kuwait. So she actually is a person who very well knows the destruction of war and battle. If anybody were to understand what that's like, if anybody were to, hold the highest office in the land and to send our men and women out there to fight in wars that they don't even know, what they're really fighting for. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is the one who would fully understand that decision. She's the one who we could feel proud to call president because she has actually seen battle. You know what I'm saying? Not too many candidates can say that. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong. All that being said, I love Tulsi Gabbard, but just keeping it really real for you, just keeping it so real, keeping it LB the Realist. Bernie is the reason for the season. Tulsi stepped down from her position at the DNC to endorse Bernie because she knew and she agreed and she believed in his platform. She believed in the same things that Bernie Sanders has literally been fighting for since before I was fucking born. I'm 30 years old. I'm talking, he's been talking the same shit for over 30 years now. 30 years, people. He is the number one progressive in the race. He is the most progressive person in this race for presidency. He's the most progressive. I'm so fucking ecstatic right now. You guys can't. I waited to do the video, but I mustered up some of that same energy that I had when I first heard it just for this video. Just to let you guys, just so you guys could hear it in my voice how excited I am about this. I'm a Bernie bro to the fullest. And I don't mean it in any kind of weird sexist way or any kind of disparaging way. No, I just mean I love Bernie Sanders for what he's done And not only for what he's done, but for who he is. Because he's stayed the same for decades. He is the exact same person. Maybe he's older now, so maybe he's a little more wiser as far as strategy goes. Now, I know a lot of people, including myself, had a very big issue with him endorsing Hillary Clinton, number one. Trying to get all of his supporters to do the same. And by not challenging the rigging and the flat out cheating that was done against him. So that was a big issue that me and a lot of other people had with Bernie Sanders, is that he refused to call that out. But another thing that was in the back of my mind, that I know was in the back of a lot of other people's minds as well, was that Bernie Sanders was playing a long game. He was playing three-dimensional chess. And while we're young and, full of spit and vinegar, or, we just really wanted a change overnight, Bernie Sanders knew that he had to play his position. He had to be the Batman. He had to be the fall guy. He had to be the bad guy for us for a little bit, just so he can continue on in the limelight, continue on in conversation, and for him to keep bringing important issues into the spotlight, like Medicare for all. If it wasn't for Bernie Sanders advocating and screaming, like they like to make fun of him for doing, screaming all the time, if it wasn't for Bernie Sanders screaming for Medicare for all, it would not be in the fucking conversation today. 3 years ago. Matter of fact, he's been screaming Medicare for all for my whole entire life. My entire life. This is my point. Like, he's been talking the same shit for years, while, all these other people are just now coming on board with not taking, corporate money, or, being on board for Medicare for all, or legalization of weed, or, tuition-free college, or $15 minimum wage, or a living wage. These are all principles and ideas that Bernie Sanders has been talking about. So when we're talking about who's more progressive, and Bernie's going to have a harder time in this race than he did last time because he's in a pool full of progressive now. No, Bernie Sanders is the progressive. Bernie Sanders probably made up the fucking word. That's how progressive he is. So I don't give a shit about, in relation to this, in relation to this idea of, there being a pool of progressives and it being harder for, I don't give a fuck about that, because Bernie is the progressive. He was the reason for the season. He was the one who started this barbecue shit. Is this the motherfucking thanks he gets? That was a Friday After Next joke for those that, enjoy the Friday movies. But anyways, I'm super excited. I'm hoping you guys are super excited as well. My fellow Bernie bros and Bernie, Bernie, what do you call a women, a Bernie sis? Bernie sis, Bernie bro. I just found out recently, matter of fact, probably like 20 minutes ago, I just watched a video on how, before Bernie bros, we were called Sanderistas. Sanderistas, all right? So whether you call yourself a Bernie bro, a Sanderistas, or whatever you want to say, I'm excited, man. I'm really stoked, because he started something in 2015, 2016, and now it's time to finish. And when I heard Bernie Sanders says, we're going to win. What's going to be different, Bernie? We're going to win. Oh my God, that made me feel so fucking great. Just to know that Bernie Sanders is that confident. And is it just me? Is it just me? I think it might be just me. Is it just me, or does Bernie Sanders look younger than he did in 2016? I swear he looks younger to me this year. He sounds great. He sounds energetic. He sounds like he's not taking any bullshit this year. He sounds ready, y'all. He sounds 100% viable. And I don't give a fuck about his age. People are trying to, say that he's too old. Let me tell you guys something. Bernie Sanders is what, 76? Nancy Pelosi, isn't Nancy Pelosi 77? Isn't she a year older than Bernie Sanders? or, you know, around the same age. Joe Biden too, right? Joe Biden too. And whenever we bring up the fact that all these other people, you know, they should probably listen to the younger Democrats, the younger progressives coming in, because, you know, they have the hearts of the people, and they're repping for positive, progressive ideas. Whenever we say, you know, maybe they should listen to them, maybe they should give the younger people a shot, they always say, don't be ageist. Nancy Pelosi's been putting in work long before you were born, and, you know, don't count out the old people. Well, that's what we're saying with Bernie Sanders. That's exactly what we're saying with Bernie Sanders. Don't count him out because he's 76 years old. He looks better than ever. And he's ready. And Bernie Sanders even said himself that he used to do cross country and running when he was young, and he feels great. He's healthy. And even if Bernie Sanders is 76 years old, he's just going to pick somebody who's a little younger than he is for a vice president. And if, you know, God forbid, worst comes to worst, something happens to Bernie, guess who's going to take over? Most likely, Elizabeth Warren. I'm hoping personally for Tulsi Gabbard, and I know a lot of you are too. The only reason I say it's probably going to be Elizabeth Warren, because in his interview with TYT, they asked him, his last question was, to the extent of, you know, who are you going to pick for VP? And he said it would be somebody who can carry the progressive flag on, somebody who's probably a different gender than he is, and somebody who's a few years younger than he is. That's exactly what he said. To me, that says Elizabeth Warren. She's of the opposite gender. She's a few years younger than he is. I believe she's 69, and she can carry the progressive banner. The only issue I have with Elizabeth Warren is that she lacks integrity. Like, where Tulsi Gabbard, you know, is the, she just emanates integrity and honor, you know, because of who she is. You know, a veteran. She dropped out of the vice chair to endorse Bernie Sanders in 2016. You know, to me, I think he should choose Tulsi. And again, he could mean Tulsi. When he said a few years younger, he could have meant a few years younger. You know, I could have just misheard that. But whether he chooses Elizabeth Warren or Tulsi Gabbard, don't get me wrong, Elizabeth Warren has done some great things, you know, as far as, you know, bank fraud. She's always the watchdog as far as that's concerned, in Wall Street, you know. So I'm not trying to totally count out Elizabeth Warren. She really pissed me off when she doubled back and backtracked on the election rigging during the Democratic primary, when they asked her about that. She really pissed me off with that one. And not only that, but her kind of tit for tat with Trump and the whole, oh, I'm Native American thing. Like, that was kind of weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and Elizabeth Warren, she voted for Hillary Clinton. She just seems like the type of person that when her back's up against the wall, she's not going to fight for us. When her back's up against the wall, she's going to side with the establishment every time. I could be sadly mistaken, and you know what? I hope I am. So with all that being said, I'm going to leave this one at this. I don't know where the hell or how long this video is by now. Oh, it's about 13, 14 minutes. Okay. So it's not bad. All right. I'm going to leave it here. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you just as excited for Bernie Sanders as I am? Maybe a little less, maybe a lot less. Or do you even think Bernie Sanders is viable now? You know, or are you guys mostly riding with Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren? What do you guys think? Like this video. Do me that favor. Like this video, because it helps to spread the message. And obviously it helps to, apparently it helps to basically get the video seen by more people. If there's more likes on it, if there's more engagement on the video, then they're more likely to basically promote that video on YouTube, I guess. So if you guys would do me that favor, like the video and share the video if you feel as though it's shareable, and subscribe. Let's get these numbers up this election season. All right, y'all. Love, peace, and light. Until the next time, remember, keep spreading that enlightenment. Fight don't stop. I'm out.